I've got a few questions, gentlemen. Let me start with you, Mr. Secretary. I'm trying to understand how you and all of you in OMB are thinking here. Where does the money come from for the Inland Waterways Trust Fund?
Senator, it's principally raised by a tax on the diesel fuel used in the tug and barge industry.
Yeah. Do you know the balance in that account off the top of your head?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'll be happy to provide that to you for the record.
Okay.
Exactly, but it is not insignificant.
I'm sorry?
The balance is not insignificant.
Okay. The proposed budget proposes not to spend it. Why would we? It can't be used for anything else. Why would we not spend it?
Sir, well, first of all, most of the needs that and I'm going to kind of back up with the Corps' capabilities. Most of the needs that we were currently capable of using that trust funds for were moved forward into the 25 spending plan. So a lot of that were taken care. A lot of those projects were funded in 25 pretty close to their full capabilities in the interim future. And it also, the advantage of the trust funds is that they're designed to be for monies to be raised to used, including out years, and over a longer period of time. So, we moved the funds forward into 25 for most of the projects that were currently ongoing, and then the projects, there were balances left that will be used in future years to fund projects as they come up and the Corps' capability come available.
So, Mr. Secretary, you're saying you don't need the money right now?
No, sir, we're going to need the money very soon.
I'm talking about right now. It's a timing issue?
I would say largely, sir, yes. That could we always use some, what we don't want to do is get into a situation where we're trying to spend money just because it's about to expire.
Agreed.
We'd rather find that, fund it as the projects need it as they go forward.
Where's the money come from for the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund?
Sir, it's a value-based user fee that is charged against all cargoes entering or exiting the United States.
Okay. It's got some money in it, doesn't it?
It does. And again, to be used over time.
Right. This proposed budget only proposes using $1.7 billion, is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's below the mark that we set, is it not?
Yes, sir.
How come?
Again, more of a timing issue. Some things were moved forward. Others, the president did put a focus on what were principal federal responsibilities, which is the maintenance and dredging of federal channels. And so, again, the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund is to be used over time for those projects.
Okay. Well, nobody's thinking about using this money for something else, are they?
No, sir.
Okay. General, I want to ask you a question about bringing these projects in on budget and on time. I know you said it was engineering. We got to get the engineering right, project management right, team right. Let me give you an example. I'm not going to beat this to death, but and I'm just picking a project. We've got a lot of projects in Louisiana, just like Alaska has a lot of projects. Everybody has a lot of projects. But the Inland Harbor Navigation Canal in New Orleans. 10 years ago, we projected it would cost about $951 million. Now the cost is up to about $4.7 billion. And the Corps says it'll take 14 years. I mean, I understand inflation, but why? And I'm using this as an example.
So Senator, the Inner Harbor Navigation Canal down there, where the intercoastal waterway bisects and gets across.
Today we dive into a heated Senate exchange where tough questions are raised about America's waterways, trust funds, and infrastructure spending. Senator Kennedy presses officials on why critical funds aren't being used, why projects spiral billions over budget, and what the future holds for Louisiana as land sinks and sea levels rise. Let's break this down. Senator Kennedy starts by questioning the Secretary on the Inland Waterways Trust Fund. This fund, built on diesel fuel taxes from the tug and barge industry, holds significant money. But Kennedy points out it isn't being spent. The Secretary admits that while projects were funded in the 2025 plan, remaining funds are being held for future use. Kennedy pushes back. If the money can't be used elsewhere, why let it sit? The answer: timing. Projects will need the money soon, but not immediately. Next, Kennedy turns to the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund. Funded through cargo fees on goods entering and leaving the U.S., billions are available, yet only $1.7 billion is proposed for use below the target mark. Once again, the justification is timing. Officials stress that the focus is on federal responsibilities like dredging, but Kennedy makes it clear he wants accountability and reassurance that these funds won't be redirected elsewhere. Kennedy highlights a painful example: the Inner Harbor Navigation Canal in New Orleans. Originally estimated at just under $1 billion, the cost has now exploded to nearly $5 billion with a timeline stretching over 14 years. The general explains delays came from lawsuits, injunctions, and a lack of trust from local communities. These legal and social challenges forced inflated cost estimates. Kennedy's frustration reflects a broader concern. Why can't projects be delivered on time and within budget? The discussion turns urgent. Louisiana is sinking while sea levels rise.
Intercoastal waterway bisects and gets across and up onto the Mississippi River is absolutely key. And you know the history that we've had on multiple lawsuits and injunctions over the years. A lot of it built from the lack of trust from the local communities, particularly the lower Ninth Ward.
I know.
So that cost estimate, and for everybody listening, that IHNC is also part of the flood protection for the greater New Orleans area, the river-facing gates. So it's imperative that we get this right. And what I told the district to do is to make sure that they have put in their cost estimates the risks associated. And most of those risks are most of those risks are elements of not having local support to build this. We want to get a team together.
How do you quantify that?
So that's what we owe you. You take a risk that it's going to get delayed, and then you try your best to put money associated with that would get delayed. So we would have loved to have built this thing for less than $1 billion 10 years ago, but the court cases have prevented us from doing that. The lack of trust from the citizens of the lower Ninth Ward have prevented us from doing that. So we're trying to build that trust so that we don't end up in this infinite loop of litigation.
I got it.
The hearing closes with Kennedy seeking clarity. Diversion projects, incentives, and smarter spending all have potential. But the questions remain: why aren't trust funds fully used? Why do projects take decades? And can Louisiana truly be saved from sinking beneath the sea? This exchange shows the enormous stakes of infrastructure, climate change, and public trust in government decisions. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and hit the subscriber button for more political showdown.